Please help me welcome the executive producer of Prayers for Bobby, the talented Daniel Sladek.
Hi, good morning. It's a good day to be inside. We're not all pulled by the beautiful sunshine this morning, which is a good thing at a conference like this. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. Vinny actually approached me at the PFLAG Awards in Los Angeles in October and was incredibly passionate about somehow involving Prayers for Bobby in this gathering this weekend. And of course, I said, let's just show the film and we'll start there. And he jumped at the opportunity. So thank you, Vinny, for being the turnkey to this. And thank you for Lifetime for agreeing to let this happen later today. I'm actually here on behalf of a team of producers, my partners and I, who spent 13 years pursuing working tirelessly to get Prayers for Bobby to produce for the screen. The book Prayers for Bobby was written by Leroy Aarons, who was the founding president of the National Gay and Lesbian Journalists Association. It was the only book that Roy wrote, and it was a turnkey moment in the publishing world because it was a monumental publication, a monumental book about the true story of Bobby Griffith and his suicide and his mother's really coming full circle from starting out as a very devout, fundamentalist, religious Christian woman whose religious convictions got in the way of her judgment when her son was outed, and she, unfortunately, her actions led to Bobby taking his life. Mary Griffith has emerged over the last 20 years to become one of the most visible and vocal proponents of LGBT youth issues in the world. And Sigourney Weaver portrays Mary brilliantly in this film, and it was really a tremendous opportunity for us to get this movie made. As I said, it was a 13-year journey, and we started many, many years ago with Susan Sarandon right off Dead Man Walking, and the history, the chronology of the making of this film itself will be a great book one day. But I won't bore you with those stories. I was incredibly touched by Shelley's presentation this morning, and I was in the back of the room thinking, what do I have to offer to you as far as comments before seeing this film later? I want to flash back in time to 1982, 1983. I graduated from high school in 83. I'm 45 years old. And Bobby Griffith was 2 years older than I was at the time of his death. And Shelley was talking about a similar time in her life. And I was thinking about what's changed, what's different. I too was, struggling with my sexuality. I was coming out. I came out very young to myself, but I didn't come out until I was a senior in high school to select friends, and then when I went to university, I continued coming out. But when I think about those days compared to days today, what's different? And I'm reminded of what happened at about 1 o'clock in the morning every morning with the 3 networks that we all grew up watching. They all did something at 1 o'clock in the morning. Does anybody remember what they all did at 1 o'clock in the morning? They went off the air. Remember the snow? First there was the anthem, then the jets flew over and the flag waved for a few seconds. And then NBC, ABC, and CBS and your one local affiliate station, they went off the air. That was it. That was the end of television. And then at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, we had the anthem and the flag and the planes flew over and we were back on the air again, right? That was our collective window to the world. That's how we saw the rest of the world. Flash forward to today. We have, I don't know, my satellite carrier, 167 channels, and they're on 24 hours a day. Shelley made a joke about twittering her fans. We have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have MySpace, we have YouTube. We have all of this technology at our fingertips today that we didn't have back in 1983 when I was a high school student. And I'm asking all of us in this room to really think about how we can use this technology as best as possible when pursuing the purpose that we're all here for this weekend, which is championing the rights of LGBT youth. As a filmmaker, I've made a lot of movies. I've been involved in making a lot more. I have had Dolph Lundgren films and Rutger Hauer movies and submarine disaster films made under my guidance. I've championed a couple social issues film. But Prayers for Bobby, for myself and my producing partners, Chris and David, was singularly the most important opportunity of our lives thus far to make sure that we were using the mass media capabilities of today's world in the best way possible to take this agenda and run with it. Now, in my universe, I think globally. I have to think globally because Prayers for Bobby is airing and is on DVD all over the world. When Lifetime first broadcast the film, over the first weekend, I believe they had 4 airings, I heard, statistically, it was roughly 17 million people saw the film. And that's a big number. But then you stop and think, but what happens when our product is exported all over the globe? And by the way, they rerun it, and the DVD just came out about 6 weeks ago through A&E Home Entertainment. It's now available everywhere. But on our website, prayersforbobby.com, we have a tab, Letters to Bobby. And it's an open forum. And it's just a place where anybody can write in, and those emails come straight to my inbox. They can write in their comments, their thoughts, their experiences about having viewed the film. We've had about 3,000 emails come in thus far, and it blows my mind. Technology is amazing because I get those reports from I think it's Google. I don't even remember how we've set up the site, but I get the statistics as far as how many page views, where these people are coming from, where in the world they live, how many pages they go to within the site. It's really unbelievable. But when I stop and look at those emails and I read them, and I'm getting emails from Sri Lanka, I'm getting emails from Russia, we're getting emails from all over Europe, as far away as Africa, about principally from young people having watched this film and what they've experienced as a result of seeing Prayers for Bobby. Some of them are so cathartic. Some of them are so unbelievably moving, inspiring, and some of them are absolutely horrific to read. But it's a reminder of the technology that we have today and how easy it is when we choose to access the communities that we live in, to access the greater community at large here in America, and to access the entire world. And our information is exported everywhere. Our media is exported everywhere. We do something brilliant. We sell everything really, really well. We don't manufacture a lot. When you think about it, America, we sell everything really well. So when you leave here this weekend, the one thing that I ask of you is I'd like for you to think about what exists in your school district, in your schools, in your communities. What technology exists? What do you have access to? How can you inspire yourselves and your students to produce, to program, to message their own content, to really get out there and grasp this technology? Because this is first-generation technology. This is stuff these kids are growing up with that a lot of us look at each other and go, how do we use this? They have access to resources and tools that will unquestionably change the world as we know it in relation to lesbian and gay youth rights, because it's already happening. And they will run with this if you give them the opportunity to do so. And it's actually a great opportunity outside of the school itself, outside of the school district itself. It's something that they can do utilizing their own freedom, their own free voices. So that's what I have to offer here, and I can't thank you enough for being here. I have been a youth group advisor. I was a synagogue Sunday school teacher. I've lectured at UCLA for many, many years, and I know how hard it is to be in a school system and to be working with kids and to inspire them. And I can't thank you enough for taking the time to be here this weekend. And I hope you'll come and watch the movie this afternoon.